Hey all, welcome and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel. Well, today I'm going to share about my struggle with COVID, what I did, yeah, and when I realized that I was positive, and how long it took for me to be negative. Yeah, I'm going to share all that here. Well, I first I got sick, or I got positive sometimes back last year in May. So definitely I was among the first people who were positive. So I was working in a facility, and it happened two residents had gone out of the facility. That is, they had been admitted at hospital, and when they came back positive, and yeah. So I was called by HOD and was told that we have some residents that were positive, so we needed to go to the facility and get tested. And so when I got tested, my results were positive. Well, I got scared, and mainly because I have a baby, and my baby then was just 1 year. He was 1 year 3 days old, so basically he was very young, and I was the one giving him full care, like full care, giving him bath, feeding him, maybe taking a some naps with him if he's not in his crib, and all the stuff. So, and that was the time I was winning him. So in the process, when I was taking my food, or I'm eating my food, I was giving him my food. So basically we were sharing so much. I was constantly on his face, so I knew, boom, this is serious. So I think a couple days later, we went back to the hospital as a whole family to get tested. And days later, we were called, and the results were positive. Like, we were all positive. Yeah, including the baby. So what happened was, I knew there's nothing I can do. Unfortunately, the baby is very young. He can't tell whether he's feeling okay or not, whether he's having some chills, whether he's having headache, whether he can breathe. It's hard to tell when you're dealing with a baby. So I just pray to God, and thank God he heard my prayer. So because he was okay, he was eating well, he was just playful. There's nothing, he didn't show no signs whatsoever. So it was me that I needed to worry about. So what I did, I did order for some limes, oranges, some lime juice, ginger, garlic, lots and lots of vegetables and fruits. And I stopped drinking cold water or even room temperature. I started drinking hot water. So I was taking my ginger, garlic, limes, and I will make concoction of that, and I will drink. I made sure that I was eating lots and lots of fruits, that is limes, grapefruit, oranges, grapefruit, and pineapples, anything that will give me extra vitamin C. I was taking supplements, vitamin C supplements, to help me. Now, bad thing with the baby is that he can't take anything bitter. So I was just squeezing oranges. I will squeeze oranges, and when I'm giving him water, I will warm that, and I was giving that to the baby. I was making him smoothies, and I will add orange, but I was giving him vitamin C gummies. Yeah, so I knew that we had to take care of ourselves. Other than that, I was using the painkillers. Advent and Tylenol. That's what I was taking to manage either my headaches or anything like that. Yeah, I was feeling I was just feeling tired. Basically, I was like feeling tired and maybe some sore on some of the muscles. But it wasn't that I can't say it was intense. It was just mild. When it came to uh breathing, I was having some difficulty breathing. Not much, it's not that much, it was just some pressure, especially when I'm going up the stairs. That when I was feeling like I'm having some pressure. It's like at one point I was there feeling like there's no enough air for me to breathe, like there is no enough oxygen. So once, like, I'll find myself, I was walking out and breathing in. Good thing it was during spring, summer. It was end of spring, beginning of summer. So I will walk, I will go outside and I will just breathe in the air from outside, take as much as possible, and then come back. And then I was like trying to do some exercise, and I was doing like the deep breathing. I was there doing, I was breathing, I was trying to exercise my lungs. Breathe in, breathe out, and I was trying to ask my baby. I was doing this with my baby as a game, because I didn't know what was going on in his life, and he's very young, so he couldn't tell me nothing. So we were just doing that as exercise, and while I was doing that, I was feeling much okay. If I was there feeling like the pressure, I was feeling like it's getting relieved. So that's what I was doing. So throughout the process, it was cool. I think after 3 weeks, I stopped having those chest pressures, or yeah, any kind of maybe difficulty breathing, like feeling that there's not enough air for me. And I continued the whole process. I continued eating healthy. I was eating lots of fruits, vegetables. I did avoid ice cream. I did avoid cold stuff, ice, what I was just avoiding for me and for my baby. So the issue here is this: after 2 weeks, I went back to be tested, and the results were positive. So I was like, okay, I guess I have to quarantine more. And the whole process, I wasn't smelling. Like the first 2 weeks, I wasn't smelling nothing. My taste bud, I was even at times I was eating and I'm like, I can't even tell you what this is. The only taste that had remained, taste buds, was sweet and sour. I was there eating an orange and I couldn't tell you it's an orange. If I close my eyes, I can't tell it's an orange. It was like, basically what I could taste was like, it's just something sweet. It doesn't have any taste. It's just sweet. So I will taste salty and something bitter or sour, and sweet. Other than that, nothing. That differentiation of saying this is pineapple, this is mango, this is orange, this is papaya, that one I was denied for like 2 to 3 weeks. When it came to smell, I couldn't smell nothing. I remember I was there, like, you know how you cut your onions and garlic and you fry them, and I couldn't tell that I was doing that. Yes, I know I'm frying onions, but I couldn't smell. There was a time I was cooking tilapia, and it was smelling the whole house. So when the rest came in, they walked in the house, the baby daddy and the daughter, when they walked in the house, they could smell. I said, oh, you're making fish. I'm like, I don't even know I'm making fish because I don't smell anything. That's how extreme it was. And Unfortunately, even after I recovered, I think it lasted for quite a while, especially my taste bud came back, but my smell was what was an issue. And I can say even up to date, there are things that I can smell, there are things that I can't smell. Yeah, at times when I'm in the kitchen, when I'm cooking, I can't smell it. It takes a while for my smell to 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 pick. So maybe I'll be there doing onions or cooking something that has strong smell, and it will take a while for me to smell it. Yeah, that's, I think, I don't know how, when I will really I'll get fully my smell back, like 100%. Because right now I can say it's maybe between 90, 80, 90, around there. At times it's good, at times it's bad. Yeah, so the first month it passed, I was testing positive. The second month, that is in the whole of May, I was positive. The whole of June, I was positive. The whole of June, July, I was still positive. I went testing, and the results positive. I even asked the nurse, why am I still testing positive? And she said some people, this COVID is lingering in their system for so long. So I was there not knowing what to do. But I was glad that my baby, all the whole process, he was okay. He was eating, he was happy, he was doing his thing as if there is nothing that affected him. So, but in the middle of, I think, July or August, I think July, yeah. You see, that's 2 months later, my baby started having a fever, and I got worried. I thought he was teething, so I called the hospital and I had an appointment for him. So I took him, and so while we were there, and I said he's having a fever, and they asked whether he has had any issues, and I said the only issue he had is that he tested positive like 2 months ago. So they tested him again, and the following day the results came out. They called and they said he's positive, and that, I felt like dying. I felt so bad. The whole night, the baby, like, he was my baby, he doesn't cry that much. He's those kind of cool kids that don't cry, they just, but you can tell he was so miserable, having the fever. When I was taking his temperature, oh god, sometimes it was so high. It was above 100 and something Fahrenheit. So it was kind of crazy for me. I hardly slept, like, at night, especially the first 1 week. I was there watching him. He couldn't eat. He was just miserable, sleeping, kind of trying to cry. He trying not to cry, but he was a little bit crying here and there. So I will just strip him naked and just leave him with the diaper, having the wash rag, wiping him, trying to give him drinks, and a lot of drink, warm milk, water, some juice. I'll squeeze some lemon, some oranges, and I'll give him. I had even those painkillers for babies. I don't even remember the name, but I had those, like Tylenol for baby and the stuff, and I was giving him. So it was crazy. So you see, again, I'm here, he's fully sick, and I'm taking care of him. So what does that mean? I'm positive again, or still it's in our system. So we stay like that, and testing, like after 2 weeks we were still positive. So and that now that's it's like at three months mark. So I got tired. I couldn't even apply for jobs, because when you're applying for job, they have to test you, and when they test you, the results come positive. So I was like, I'm done. I'll just stay like that until when I feel like, when I'm okay, or when I go to apply for another job and they don't test, then yeah. So I got tired. I stayed at home from May to November without working. Yeah, just taking care of the baby, taking care of ourselves. I didn't want to work and go, and because you see, now this is new, you don't know whether you can infect somebody. You see, initially, before they were saying if you test positive, for you to come back to work, you have to have 2 negatives. And I'm here testing and testing and testing, and it's coming positive, positive, positive. So I got tired. So I was like, oh, wherever. So I don't know when it really got out of my system. I'm not even sure. But at 3-month mark, I was still testing positive, and I even got tired, because I was like every time I go to test and the result comes positive, I was getting stressed and all the stuff. So I was like, I don't want to be stressed no more. I don't want to have attitude and issues and all that. Let me just stop testing, and when I'm ready to go out there and test, I'll do that. So, and it took a while. I didn't even test, like, honestly, until like maybe after a year plus. And it's not even me who tested, it's my baby who wasn't feeling well. So at one point I had to take him back to the hospital, and I wanted them to test him, and the results came out negative. So I said, if he's negative, I'm negative too. Yeah, but that's like after an year, or yeah, after an year, because he got tested like sometimes back in May before. Yeah, in May, that's when he got tested. I came from work and he wasn't feeling okay. He had a fever and the stuff, so I rushed him to the hospital, to emergency, and he got tested, and the results came out negative. So what the effect that happened to my baby while he got sick, his eating habit changed. He didn't want to eat nothing. Even drinking was an issue. He was just drinking, forcing himself to drink. So even up to now, I still struggle with him eating. It really threw him off. Then he was eating 4 to 5 meals a day, because he was eating breakfast, lunch and dinner, and he will have snacks in between, around before lunch and before dinner. He will have some snacks. He was drinking constantly, like at night he was drinking like 2 to 3 bottles. During the day he was drinking 2, but after that, even up to now, he doesn't eat that well. His appetite went down. He's very light, as a matter of fact, but I'm grateful because he is okay. He's a happy kid. He's very active. I haven't experienced any issues with him other than the COVID. I'm grateful to God, because I myself am a living testimony. I got COVID and I recovered from it. I had it for over 3 months, and I'm here, grateful. I infected like the whole family, the dad, the sister, the grandparents, yeah, the whole family got sick, but we all recovered and we are okay. So we are grateful to God. But what I just want to say is that, you see, then it was there. Then we were having COVID-19. We didn't have this the variant, the Delta variant. So I don't know what will happen if we had the variant. And at times I'm grateful to God saying, you see, right now whatever I'm doing, it's like we kind of tend to get exposed to these people more often than even when I was working back in the facility, because now I work at the hospital, and you see when people they get sick, they come, they rush to the hospital, to the hospital, to the hospital. So I'm just grateful, because I don't know if it was Delta variant, I don't know what would have happened, and you don't even want to imagine anything. All I just want to say is just I'm grateful, and that's just want to try to remind people that take vaccine. I am fully vaccinated. I wouldn't even dare not to get vaccinated. I had to be vaccinated to protect my son and to protect anyone that will come into contact with me or anyone close to me. And as we speak, I'm waiting for the vaccine for children for 12 years and below. I'm really waiting for it. That way, when it's out there, my son will get vaccinated. I don't want to risk nothing. I just want to play my part and leave the rest to God. So if you have a chance, please, if you're eligible, please go and have yourself vaccinated, because now what we're having right now, the Delta variant, it's deadly. It's killing people, it's taking people. If you haven't been vaccinated and you happen to get sick, you might end up being hospitalized, and in worst case you might end up losing your life. So why should you lose your life? Why should you risk if there's a vaccine that can at least boost your immunity to fight against the COVID? So people, please go get your vaccine. Please don't try to don't